Toronto is all I've known. I came in at 19, and I've treated it like home ever since then. Kevin?
And DeRozan is so important to this Raptors team, DA. I'm sure they're glad he's sticking around for the long haul. And two of the better defensive teams playing tonight, Chris, they don't take a lot of plays off, do they?
No, they don't take any plays off. And you have to credit their coaching staff, their culture in that locker room about that. Their defense first, but you have to make sure that you communicate just as much as you use your physical effort on the floor. Defense, a lot of times, is playing position defense first, being where you know you should, paying attention to the little things.
That communication, one of the more underrated parts of playing defense, wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely. And one of the best at it used to be a guy named Roscoe, Ball Don't Lie, Rasheed Wallace. He was sitting that back, him and KG, and they would kind of be the anchors telling you to watch out, screen, left, man coming right, I got your back, send them to the right. Those type of things allow you to have more confidence because really, Kev, you cannot guard anyone in the NBA one-on-one, period. You're at the offensive player's mercy. You need as much help behind you in front of that basket as you can get.
Great answer. God, that was a great answer. And now the Golden State Warriors starters. Durant and Draymond Green, talented forward duo. Livingston and Thompson are the guards, and it's Pachulia in at the pivot, manning the middle. Fires it up. And it's off the back rim, no good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Outside Lowry. Fires the three. Cans it from downtown.
And that's Lowry's shot right there. Always looking to capitalize from that range.
We've played just over a minute here in the first. DeRozan against Thompson. And it's Thompson again missing. The Raptors have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Valanciunas with the ball. Out guarded by Pachulia. Valanciunas, good.
And he's pretty relentless inside. Valanciunas gets after it down low. It might not always look pretty, but he makes the most of his chances in the paint.
Green left side. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. And Valanciunas out of Lithuania, the 5th overall pick back in 2011.
Yeah, he's still quite young. You know, a lot of talent offensively. Defensively, he's probably had less of an impact, but that's where he has to take the next step.
At times in his career, Ibaka has looked out of control when forced to finish through defenders. That time, he keeps his poise and reaps the benefits.
The Raptors shooting their first free throw of the contest. Free throw good, Serge Ibaka.
And Serge Ibaka, remember, it was a first-team all-defense selection. But over time, I think he's become more of a scoring-minded player, and I think that's affected his impact defensively.
Over in the corner, Green. Over Ibaka. And the rejection by Ibaka.
The size, the timing of Ibaka, tailor-made for protecting the rim.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Looking to end the run, and it's Green missing. And Serge Ibaka, the league leader in block shots for 2 years in a row in 2012 and 13, but he sends him back at about half the rate he once did.
Yeah, but even still, pretty good shot blocker. You add in his finishing and outside shooting, and he's a player to be reckoned with.
It's stolen by Ibaka. Outside DeRozan. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Here's Anunoby, defended by Durant. Over Green. Knocked away. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Valanciunas. And some changes here for the Warriors. West is checked in for Pachulia. Iguodala comes in for Green. And Cook subbed in for Sean Livingston. Warriors trail by 12. There's 1:47 left in the first quarter. And it's Cook missing.
And if you want to drive your coach crazy, this is a good place to start.
Come on, man. This is a clown move. Heaving it from the parking lot, showing very little respect for the gang.
Iguodala. Out to Thompson. Outside DeRozan. And Lowry has it in the corner. Valanciunas passes to Anunoby. Buries the long-range jumper. Anunoby's got his first 3 points of the game.
Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
And the Raptors, unique in the NBA, they have a whole nation behind them.
And basketball continues to gain in popularity, especially with the younger generation in Canada. The Raptors are coming to relevance at the perfect time, and that rabid fan base energized by how competitive this group's been the last couple seasons.
Ibaka, the pass to Anunoby. West with the steal. And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul. Some changes for Golden State. Young comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's Patrick McCaw in for Thompson. "36 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. To end the drought, and the layup good by West.
And maybe that'll get them going. They need to find a rhythm.
Well, yeah, it took them a while to get those first points. Maybe this will help their confidence just a little bit.
Iguodala with it. It's Ibaka picking him up. Iguodala, no good. Ibaka outside. DeRozan in the corner. Pass to Valanciunas. Here's Anunoby. He feeds it to Ibaka. Over Iguodala. And so it's Toronto. 13 points up at the end of the period. Defensively, they have had their sights set on Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka, known for his shooting ability now. He talked about the confidence his teammates.
He trusts you every time he passes the ball.
Well, if you wonder how much difference a coach can make for a player, there it is. Huh?
You heard it in Serge's voice, too. That confidence has already been planted in him. That voice telling him, shoot the ball, is now in his own head. He's going to be just fine.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And for the Raptors, this has been the game they wanted to have.
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
Yeah, closing down the lane, closing out on perimeter shooters. Interesting first quarter.
And Golden State looking at who they've got. We've got West, Cook out there with McCaw. Then there's Iguodala. And it's Young in at the small forward. Here's West. And Pirtle pulls it down.
That's his first personal foul.
Raptors leading by 16. Well, there have been a lot of great young big men come into the league over the last couple of years. Chris, do you think the post position is about to make a comeback in the league right now?
I think it definitely could make a comeback because of the players that we've seen enter into this game, like Cat and Davis and Embiid. But I also think that, you know, the game has grown because we've had to see players like Larry Bird on the post extend his game to three-point area. We got to see Akeem Olajuwon get the first big crossover. So I don't know if the game will ever be the same with traditional posts, but I do know the game is in good hands with guys that have great skill sets, and so the big man is definitely back.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, Raptors coach Dwayne Casey talked about the chemistry on his team. He said, "We couldn't be better. There's no ego, no hidden agendas. Guys understand their roles." Kyle Lowry told me, "We're a complete team, 15 deep, and we really mean that. You never know whose time it's going to be." Kevin?
And DA depth is a crucial part of any team's success. Knowing you can rely on your teammates to step up is huge.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Oh, that's why you see them flexing a little bit. They're feeling good about how they've dominated.
Fast break, Toronto. Miles, that's good.
A pretty simple solution to ending this run. It would just be getting back and actually playing some defense.
McCaw misses.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Yeah, going up against a big run, trying to mount one of your own, I mean, it's exhausting and takes a tremendous amount of energy here.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
It can be discouraging, frustrating, but you only have yourselves to blame. Box out.
And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor.
And Pirtle is a massive guy, someone that uses his height exceptionally well to get high-quality looks at the bucket.
To halt the run, Pachulia, no luck. And there's the call on Durant. That's his first foul. Toronto's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game.
You know, something we've seen a few times that the Warriors went through last season was super teams needed time to gel. Not the same incredible start for the Warriors. They weren't able to match their 73-win season. But who cares when you bring home that chip?
Oh, great ball movement there.
Warriors have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter. 0 for 5. Green kicks to Livingston. The screen from Thompson. Fires the 3. And it's Toronto with the rebound. As the games went on, however, the Warriors looked more and more cohesive as a team. Took some bumps getting there, but it was worth the wait.
Well, we saw the same thing in Miami with LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, or, you know, in Boston with KG, Pierce, and Allen, and so on. So finding your roles and figuring out who needs to do what, it's a big part of NBA basketball. Warriors were not exempt from that, even with Durant.
Livingston, that's good.
Great concentration by Livingston, able to convert with a defender in his shirt.
Right outside. And there are the Raptors with another bucket.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Here's Durant. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Oh, it just isn't his outside game you have to worry about with Durant. When he gets it in close, he rarely fails to convert.
16 feet away, and it's Miles missing. Warriors have gone just 2 of 8 shooting here in the second quarter. Pirtle with the steal. And the call will be against Sean Livingston. That's his first foul, and it's a completely new group for Toronto. Ibaka dishes to Lowry. Back to Ibaka. Here's Anunoby. Off target from outside.
Oh, he finds a major hole in the D beyond the arc and still can't cash in on it.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And Thompson kicks to Durant. That doesn't go either for Durant.
I'm sure he'd say to himself, no excuse for missing that shot, even when it's such a clean look.
Ibaka, the pass to Lowry. It's stolen by Green. And so it's Toronto with a massive lead of 30 points here at the end of the quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Jonas, you guys got off.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime. It's Toronto with the advantage at the half. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, some perspective, please.
Well, right now, they're winning the battle above the rim. I'm talking about all their offensive rebounding.
That'll do it for now. The second half of action comes.
We return now to Toronto with a fantastic look at sunset at the downtown skyline of Toronto, Ontario. And so here is Golden State. Anunoby the 3 with Ibaka playing the 4. Lowry and DeRozan are the 1 and the 2. They create so much offense. And it's Valanciunas in at the center. They're the group for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. And a lot of speculation, Greg, this past summer for where Kyle Lowry would end up. Ultimately, he decides to stay with Toronto.
Yeah, you know, Lowry visited other teams but felt he had unfinished business in Toronto and teams up with DeRozan so well. Just a great fit for both sides when you look at it.
Anunoby. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assist. Anunoby's got the first points of the second half up on the board for the Raptors. And here's Golden State. Pachulia with it. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. Here's DeRozan, and Thompson sends it back.
Oh, he hasn't been much of a shot blocker in his career, but Clay denies that.
Here's Durant. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
And they're just playing fast and loose. Sometimes that'll burn you.
Like right here, you have to value each possession, especially when you're behind.
Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for the Warriors. Toronto's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. Out to the wing. Here's Anunoby. Kept alive. And the call will be against Sean Livingston. That's foul number 2 for him. West is checked in for Golden State. Patrick McCaw comes in for Klay Thompson.
David West, Patrick McCaw.
The wide open look here for DeRozan. Hits the three-point foul. DeRozan's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And it's the Warriors with the ball. They kick it out to Green. Over Ibaka. And it's blocked by Ibaka. They recover it. Picked him clean. Fast break, Toronto. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, it may not be the era of the center in the NBA, but Jonas Valanciunas has something to say about that. He said, "I try to make sure they don't forget about centers. I'll keep reminding them. The league is full of guys that can do different things, but I still think you need a center that can rebound the ball and score in the low post." I agree. Kevin?
Well, the centers are still important, David. Good to see Valanciunas making his presence felt in the paint.
0 for 3 now since halftime. Taking them a little while to find their rhythm.
So often there are some players who have one unstoppable move or something that they'll lean on if their team needs a basket. What did you feel your go-to move was when you were playing?
You know, I've said this many times, I just felt like my go-to move was just get a bucket. And so it depended on where I was on the floor. You know, I love the jump hook from the left block looking in, my 15-foot jumper, 17-foot jumper. I felt that if I came off a pick and roll and I caught the ball live, I could drive or I could shoot the jumper that if you were a big fella, you were at my mercy. And so, you know, those were really my spots on the floor to really try to do damage. So, you know, it's just about the point guard, the team that you're playing with, where shooters are on the floor in case you get double teamed, and just kind of knowing your game. And so I felt comfortable on many spots on the floor, and depending on what spot on the floor, time and possession, that's where I was going to go and just try to be successful.
I always felt you read well. You reacted well after your read.
Yeah, because, you know, I grew up on teams where coaches, you know, would want me to do the correct play, and just because you can shoot a jump hook, your favorite shot over 2 people, but if you have a wide open, great knockdown shooter in the corner, you're supposed to make that pass. And so that's what I mean about, you know, what's your favorite move? It really depends on where I was, because a lot of times it was to get my shot first, and then if I knew the defense was coming, it was to identify where that next guy was going to be. So if I didn't score, I was going to get the ball to the guy that was, and it was an easy way to kind of control the pace and the play from the game from that post position.
And the Raptors going out now with a whole new group. Feeds it to Powell. He kicks it to Pirtle. And the dunk by Pirtle.
And look at Pirtle effortlessly dropping the hammer on the D.
Stolen by Miles. From past the arc. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, they've been tremendous from beyond the arc. It's a shift from what they did in the first 2 quarters, though.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
The Warriors shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
Some changes for Golden State. Durant's checked in for Young. And it's Klay Thompson in for McCaw. And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there. And Chris, you were only briefly with the Warriors at the start and the end of your career, but you had plenty of big moments with that club. Any stand out to you as a favorite?
Oh, well, I think the playoffs, almost averaging a triple-double in the playoffs, for me, it was something very special. Going behind the back on my good friend Sir Charles, of course, is one of the first experiences I had there, and also my first NBA game. I mean, being in front of those crazy fans in Oakland, that atmosphere is unlike any other, and jump ball and winning and scoring my first bucket. So many special moments there. Rookie of the Year, being awarded that with my father at center court there at that arena is something I'll never forget.
The Warriors have not yet made a free throw in the game, 0 of 2 so far.
Quinn Cook at the line for 2.
That's good from Cook. And one thing that Steve Kerr has done so well in his coaching tenure is his ability to handle multiple stars on the same team. You look back at the history of this league, and it isn't always smooth sailing.
Yeah, sometimes when you get this much talent on teams, you can get guys clashing. But Kerr has the team playing as a unit, and players are happy to sacrifice their own stats for playing better basketball. He has everyone buying into the culture they've created.
Oh, that's good.
And when Pearl sees one of his guys wide open, he whips it his way. He's all for doing what's best for the team.
Here's Miles, and then Miles with the dunk.
And that monster lead continues to grow. They are just piling it on now.
But give the coach a little credit. It's been some great play calling, each guy doing his part. This is what you're hoping to achieve.
Toronto's gone 4 of 6 from three-point land since the start of the second half. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Toronto shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game.
Shooting for Toronto.
And that one misses.
Taking 2 shots.
That one is no good. Left side Durant. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. The Raptors out in front, just dominating this one. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. Now let's listen in to head coach Steve Kerr.
Offensively is our problem. We're getting...
And we're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, Livingston and Thompson are the guards. Bell is out there with Caspi, and it's Pachulia in at the 5 spot. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors able to retain possession here.
Substitution on the
Here's Anunoby. Here's Valanciunas, and the layup is good. Valanciunas has got the 4th quarter started here with a bucket for the Raptors. Thompson dishes to Livingston. Goes up on the wing, and it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
DeRozan passes to Anunoby. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. 6 to shoot. A shot by Lowry. Wide open. And there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. That's his first foul.
Kyle Lowry, 3.
And the Warriors with possession here. Thompson in the post. DeRozan defending. There's the triple. It's rebounded by Anunoby. They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate definition of the zone. Everything they've done has worked.
Bell against Ibaka. And Bell kicks to Caspi. Pachulia dishes to Thompson. Fires the 3. The shot, no good. Nice D from DeRozan. And he uses the glass on the layup.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Caspi passes to Livingston to halt the run. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Valanciunas has got 8 rebounds in this game. And Ibaka kicks to Valanciunas. Passes it to Anunoby. No good on the 3. Golden State's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. They grabbed their own miss. And Bell kicks to Caspi. Rebounded by Serge Ibaka. Ibaka's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And Chris, I know you started doing a podcast, Fearless or Insane, with Chris Webber, an opportunity to have some meaningful conversations. What's that been like?
It's been great, Kevin. I've gotten a chance to talk to some friends, some mentors like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I've gotten to speak to him about what it was like playing for Wooden, what it was like coming up in the crazy 60s in that time. And, you know, he's such a thoughtful and a great individual. So to hear his stories about he and Muhammad Ali, he and Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these great figures is just wonderful. I also got to speak to track legends John Carlos and Tommy Smith, who in the 1968 Olympics, we've seen them kind of protest when they put their fist up in defiance and kind of put their voice out for the voiceless. And I got to talk to them about how tough of a moment that was. Did they know the sacrifice that they were making? What happened, the backlash to what happened? And then all these years later, do they feel kind of vindicated that we're showing them so much love and people around the world appreciate what they've done? So we try to just discuss fearless or insane. You know, they say insane is doing the same thing over, expecting a different result, where these guys put their lives on the line.
Yes.
And they kind of knew that it necessarily wouldn't change the arc of justice, but they felt that they had to do it. And so it's just some cool conversations with people and athletes that were much more than an athlete. And I've learned a lot, and it's been a cool podcast.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Raptors.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
Back to Miles. It's tipped. Here's McCall. Tries to snap the cold streak. Off on the layup.
Does well to burrow his way into the post, but loses his touch on the finish.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
Toronto's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Dishes to Powell. Puts up a 3, and he's good on the 3-ball.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Well, a well-earned victory, feeding off the energy of this hometown crowd really all night.
And Wright kicks to Siakam. And it's sent back by West. Young against Miles. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
Oh, the feed off the bounce is in just the right spot.
And Nick Young loves scoring and lightheartedly jokes about his defense.
Oh, yeah, we always want players to be so serious about the game. There's a flip side to that. A teammate like Young, who comes in every day with a smile on his face, it can lighten the mood in the locker room.
Gets the 3-pointer to fall.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
Stacks on stacks on stacks. They're looking to stack up some points. They've gotten into a nice groove from out there.
And the dunk by Wright.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Yeah, that offense shifted into high gear. I love the attack mindset.
Cook.
And you could see he knew exactly where that long rebound was coming off, able to get there quickly and snatch it up.
Here's Pirtle, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And the foul called on the Golden State Warriors.
And guarding Pirtle is never easy. He's got so many moves and ways to get defenders to be overly physical with him. And
he's good on the second. Powell with the steal. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this